Most food deliveries are simple. You order, a driver shows up, and it's done. But sometimes things go wrong. What if your delivery takes you somewhere no one should go? Or what if someone dangerous shows up instead of the person you expected? These two terrifying delivery stories will make you think twice before ordering late at night. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. These stories will give you chills and you don't want to miss what's coming next. Marcus was used to working the night shift as a food delivery driver. It was quiet and people tipped well for late night orders. But one night, he got an order that sent chills down his spine: a delivery to a house at the far edge of town, in a place where most drivers refuse to go. The house had no reviews on the app and no prior orders. It seemed like a dead zone, no neighbors, no streetlights, just an old house at the end of a dirt road, surrounded by trees. Still, Marcus figured it was just another customer living off the grid. The instructions in the app were strange. Leave the food on the porch. No need to knock. When Marcus pulled up, his headlights flickered as if the air was thick with fog, though the night was clear. The house looked abandoned, windows cracked, the paint peeling, and the porch sagging under its own weight. There were no lights on inside. He felt a knot in his stomach, but he didn't want to get a bad rating, so he grabbed the bag and placed it on the porch. Just as he turned to leave, his phone buzzed. "Please knock. I'm waiting." Marcus froze, the hairs on the back of his neck standing up. Why would they want him to knock if they didn't even have the lights on? Against his better judgment, he slowly walked back to the porch and knocked 3 times. The knock echoed through the empty house, and for a moment, there was only silence. Then, a soft shuffling sound came from the other side of the door, like bare feet dragging across the floor. Marcus's heart raced. He waited, but no one opened the door. Instead, a voice, soft and breathy, whispered through the cracks. Something told Marcus that if he opened that door, he wouldn't be walking back out. Without thinking, he bolted down the porch steps, ran to his car, and slammed the door shut. As he sped away, he glanced in his rearview mirror, just in time to see the front door of the house swing open slowly. A pale figure stood in the doorway, watching him leave. It didn't wave or call out, it just stood there, smiling. Marcus quit his job the next day, and the house. It disappeared from the delivery app. No one could find any record of the address. To this day, Marcus swears that whatever was waiting for him inside that house wasn't human. Emily lived alone in a quiet suburb where nothing strange ever happened. One rainy night, she decided to treat herself with a late-night delivery. The streets were empty except for the sound of rain pattering against her windows. She placed her order through the app and waited for the delivery driver to arrive. After 30 minutes, there was a knock at her door. Confused, Emily checked the delivery tracker on her phone. It still said her food was 10 minutes away. Curious, she went to the door and looked through the peephole. A man stood on her porch, soaked from the rain and holding a plain brown bag. He had no uniform, no company logo, just a crooked smile stretched across his pale face. "Delivery," he said in a flat voice. Emily frowned. "I didn't order from you," she replied through the door. The man's smile didn't waver. "Are you sure?" "This bag's for you." Something about the way he said it made her skin crawl. The bag wasn't sealed, it was just loosely folded, and water dripped from the edges. Emily stepped back, gripping the door tightly. "I'll wait for my driver," she said, trying to keep her voice steady. The man's expression changed. His smile twisted into something sharp, almost angry. Before she could react, he reached out and grabbed the door handle, trying to push it open. "Just take the food," he hissed. Emily slammed the door shut, locking it as fast as she could. The man pounded on the door a few more times before his footsteps faded into the rain. Emily stood frozen, her heart racing. She peeked through the peephole again, but the porch was empty. A few minutes later, her phone buzzed. "Delivery driver, I'm almost there. Sorry for the delay. I got lost for a bit when the real driver finally arrived." Emily told him what had happened. He apologized, saying his GPS had taken him down the wrong street to an abandoned house at the edge of the neighborhood. Emily's blood ran cold. That had to be the same street the strange man had come from. For weeks after that night, Emily felt uneasy, like someone was watching her. Every time she heard a knock at the door, her heart raced with fear. She never found out who the strange man was or what he wanted, but one thing was certain: the food he brought wasn't meant for her. Not every delivery ends with a happy meal. Some come with a warning or worse. If you ever get a knock at the door and something doesn't feel right, trust your gut. It might just save your life. If you enjoyed these creepy delivery stories, hit the like button and subscribe for more terrifying tales. And remember, be careful who you open the door for.